Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Scotty B Show. So, holiday season is upon us, and we all start to get a little stressed out for it once in a while. I don't know why, but Christmas sometimes can bring out the beast in some of us. But anyway, I was sitting here thinking about it, and I was looking over some news stories, and I was thinking about the odd news, and I come across some good odd news stories, and thought I'd share them with you. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully they make you laugh and forget your problems. And just have a great day, great night, whatever the case may be. I just hope you enjoy them, okay? So let's start with the first one from Associated Press. Slithering snake burglar steals thousands from California salon. So police were looking for a man dubbed a snake burglar who wriggled his way through a Southern California businesses, fled with several $1,000s. KNBC TV says surveillance video shows a man slithering on his belly at the Rustic Root Salon in Riverside last Friday, possibly to avoid a motion sensor. The man fled with hundreds of dollars in product and a safe with more than $8,000 inside. Local businesses say the same man may have tried the same slithery trick recently on other businesses in the area. Hard to say slithering, and then you got to say it more than once. Yeah, that's, you know. Anyway, so we're going to move on here with another AP story. Title is Germany. Burglars knock hole in the wall, steal Lego bricks. So German police are looking for witnesses after burglars broke through the wall of a toy store to steal dozens of Lego sets. Police said Tuesday that the theft took place over the weekend in the western town of Lippstadt. The burglars left about 100 empty cardboard boxes behind. German news agency dpa reported it wasn't immediately clear whether the burglars had taken the instructions. You need instructions for Legos? I didn't know that. I thought they just clipped onto each other and moved on that way. So this other story is up with AP Sports. A top snooker player fell asleep in the middle of his match in one of the most prestigious events in the sport. Mark Williams recently returned to action after contracting the coronavirus, and he says he's still feeling the effects. Williams says after his loss to Anthony Hamilton in the UK Championship, my head went down and I woke up and I didn't have a clue where I was at. Williams is a three-time world champion and one of snooker's most charismatic players. He was in his chair when he fell asleep while Hamilton was at the table. So, time to wake up. Another news story from the Associated Press. Dozens of customers who stopped for a drink at Britain's highest pub are getting a longer stay than they bargained for after their building was cut off by a blizzard. 61 people woke up Monday after their third night at the Tan Hill Inn in the Yorkshire Dales, about 270 miles, 435 kilometers north of London. They have been unable to leave since Friday when a late autumn storm brought snow and heavy winds that felled power cables and blocked roads. Manager Nicola Townsend said staff had organized movies, a quiz night, and a karaoke for the stranded guests. Townsend said the guests were in good spirits, and one lady actually said, I don't want to leave. There you go. I think she didn't want to leave because maybe the alcohol or something else. I don't know. So a radio station, now this is also off the Associated Press, a radio station serving U.S. President Warren G. Harding's hometown in Ohio, says a reward offered by one of its listeners is providing new hope of finding a long-lost dog collar stolen from his historic home. Scott Spears, host of a morning radio show on WWGH-FM in Marion, said the donor of the $1,000 request anonymity. The station has deposited the money in a local bank and will act as an intermediary and any tips offered to solve the mystery. The antique collar, made in 1923, belonged to Harding's Airedale Terrier, Laddie Boy. It was stolen in 2012. It has Laddie Boy engraved on it, surrounded by hearts. So if anybody sees it out there, there's $1,000 reward waiting for you. So another one from Associated Press Sports. Milton Andrew Munson's obituary recalled his life as an Air Force veteran, a pharmacist, husband, and father, and as a Nebraska football fan. That was evident in one line in the obit, which reads, "In lieu of flowers, please place an irresponsible, large wager on Nebraska beating Iowa." The Lincoln Journal-Star reports that the obit, written by Munson's sons, ran November 18th in the Hastings Tribune. It caught fire on social media, captured the attention of two radio hosts. Soon more than $5,000 has been contributed for the big bet. Some of the money will go to Big Brothers Big Sisters. The Huskers are a 1.5-point underdog in Friday night's game. Another one off Associated Press by Terry Spencer. The recent story that a German Shepherd is selling a Miami mansion once owned by Madonna appears to be part of a long-running ruse. The story reported by the Associated Press last week appears to be part of a long-running story shared by Italian pharmaceutical scion Maurizio Mayan has claimed the line of dogs are the beneficiaries of an eccentric German countess who left her fortune to German Shepherd Gunther III and his progeny. There is no evidence the countess ever existed. Madonna's former home is being sold by the Gunther Corporation, but the dog's role appears to be little more than a joke. So another one off Associated Press. A man in Germany has discovered the hard way that it's best to get a driving license before trying to use it. Police in Bergheim near Cologne said Tuesday that the 37-year-old drove himself to his driving test, parking an Opel Sapphire outside the test center in front of an astonished examiner. They said he told police officers who were called to the scene on Monday that he had only driven because he wanted to be sure of making it to the test on time. His test was immediately called off. The man now faces an investigation for driving without a license. Police also opened an investigation of the car's owner. What is the big deal if you're going down there for a test? I don't understand that one. Okay. Another one off Associated Press. A 10-point buck sought sanctuary inside a southern Michigan church on opening day of the state's firearm deer hunting season. Pastors at Grace Sturgis encountered the buck inside the church's auditorium on Monday before it leaped through a window and back into the wild. A video the church posted on Facebook shows the buck wandering the church. Pastors Amanda and Luke Eicher and Justin Wicke erected barricades in a hallway to try to keep it from the rest of the church. At one point, it climbed stairs to a balcony. The buck didn't appear to have any gunshot wounds and was bleeding just a bit, apparently because of the broken glass. Hey, why not, right? You cannot get arrested inside a church. Another one off Associated Press. A wayward Roadrunner is on the mend in Maine after traveling across the country in a moving van. The greater Roadrunner is a species native to the southwestern states. It hitched a ride in the storage area of a moving van from Las Vegas to Westbrook, Maine. Volunteers took the bird to a bird rehabilitation facility in Maine. Avian Haven representatives said that they took the call about the bird November 13th and that it continued to rest Tuesday. The center has created a special habitat for the bird that is warmer than its typical outdoor areas while also being sufficiently roomy. I wonder if they'll send it back to Arizona or wherever it came from. So off Associated Press, a deer ran through the front door of a Louisiana hospital, climbed up an escalator before it was captured, and later euthanized because of injuries. News outlets report that surveillance videos showed the animal bounding into Our Lady of the Lake Hospital in Baton Rouge through an open door on Monday. It stumbled onto the slippery floor as stunned workers and visitors watched from a few feet away. Then it climbed up the down Then it climbed up the down escalator and reached the second floor, where it was finally corralled. The Louisiana Wildlife Fisheries Department says the animal had to be euthanized because of its injuries. Also off the Associated Press, France's Justice Ministry says guards have thwarted an escape attempt from the Paris region's second largest prison. French media identified the would-be escapee as a suspect Islamic State sympathizer and said she dug a hole in the wall of her cell, rappelled out on knotted sheets. The Justice Ministry said the prisoner was caught Sunday morning. It said guards immediately inspected all of the woman's cells at the Fresnes prison to ensure that other prisoners were accounted for, and an investigation was opened. Media reports said motion detectors alerted guards that the detainee had escaped. Also off the Associated Press, police say a 7-foot python snuck onto a sailboat in the Florida Keys and hitched a ride, staying on board until the boat completed its nearly 100-mile voyage. The crew found the big snake in the boat's shower after the vessel docked Friday in Morocco Island in southwest Florida after the trip from Indian Key. Morocco Island police quickly responded and handed the invasive snake over to a local wildlife handler after its joyride. Police posted photos of a smiling uniformed officer with the python coiled around his arm. Invasive pythons are believed to have descended from pets freed from captivity in recent decades. They are now ravaging native species of birds and mammals around South Florida. Also off the Associated Press, a little girl who lost a teddy bear she had since being adopted from an Ethiopian orphanage thought it was gone forever when she forgot it along a trail in Glacier National Park last year. But thanks to a social media plea, the sharp eyes and soft heart of a park ranger, and the closure of a hiking trail because of grizzly bear activity on the same day, a family friend visited the park. The teddy bear is back in the arms of 6-year-old Naomi Pascal in Jackson, Wyoming. Ben Pascal says the bear's return to his daughter is a story of hope, kindness, and the people working together. This next one's off Associated Press. Instead of a message in a bottle, it was the decals on a trash can that tell the story of a 3,500-mile voyage from South Carolina to Ireland. Officials with Myrtle Beach say a waste barrel somehow floated away from their coastal city, washed up in County Mayo on Ireland's northwestern coast. The city says Keith McGreal wrote to them that he'd spotted a bright blue barrel with the city sticker on it and thought it would make a good news story. City officials posted McGreal's photos of the barrel bearing shell incrustation and other signs of maritime emissions. The city says the barrel likely got swept off the beach during the storm. Off Associated Press, Santa may have fewer eyes in homes this Christmas season after a judge jokingly banned the elf on the South Superior Court Chief Judge Robert Leonard posted a mock order on Twitter Thursday banishing these elves from Cobb County, Georgia. According to the holiday tradition, elves hide in homes for weeks before Christmas to report back to Santa on who's been naughty and nice. The elf dolls are supposed to move to a different location each night, but sometimes they fall, causing distress among young children. The judge described his order as a gift to tired parents. Alrighty. Of Associated Press, a 9-foot tall video game joystick made of wood, rubber, and steel has made it into Guinness World Records 2022. Dartmouth College professor and artist Mary Flanagan created the giant controller in 2006 to celebrate her childhood experience of manically playing Atari 2600 video games. She also wanted to see what it would be like when a single-player experience becomes collaborative. It takes at least two people to operate the joystick and push the button to play classic Atari games such as Centipede and the Breakout. The joystick is now part of a permanent collection of Germany's ZKM Center for Art and Media. The National Toy Hall of Fame has inducted American Girl dolls and the strategy board game Risk, recognizing each for their influence on the toy industry. Also inducted Thursday was Sand, which it calls perhaps the most universal and oldest toy in the world. All three were honored during the ceremony at the hall after winning over a panel of experts who voted for them among 12 finalists. To be inducted into the Hall of Fame, toys must have withstood tests of time and memory, changed play or toy design, and fostered learning, creativity, or discovery. The hall is housed at the Strong Museum Play in Rochester. A tiny house in Boston suburb has sold after about a month on the market for far less than the original asking price of almost $450,000. Caldwell Banker Realty's Hans Brings Results Agency says the roughly 250 square foot home in Newtown sold on Monday for $315,000. The home is on a lot that's about 3/50ths of an acre. It went on the market in late September. The house was built in 1970 and is described as an adorable tiny studio home, featuring completely open living space. It has a loft, an unfinished basement, and has undergone renovation including new bathroom and electrical upgrades. A New Zealand couple have unearthed a huge potato that is quite possibly the largest on record. Colin and Donna Craig Brown were weeding their garden in New Zealand when Colin's hoe struck something huge just beneath the soil surface. The couples weighed the potato at 7.9 kilograms, which is 17.4 pounds. The current Guinness World Record for the heaviest potato is one that weighed just under 5 kilograms. The couple say they've applied to Guinness to have Doug recognized and are waiting to hear back. Colin said he does not have any secret gardening tips and that Doug was self-sown. So an errant monkey has captivated dozens of people in the capital of Puerto Rico. A crowd gathered Wednesday around a towering eucalyptus tree along a busy San Juan street to take pictures of the juvenile male rhesus macaque. Officials have tried to coax the monkey off the tree for nearly 2 days. Officials say they don't know where the rhesus macaque, I don't know how to pronounce that, Macaque, came from. That sort of monkey usually isn't found in urban areas, let alone on a busy street far from fruit trees and other sources of food. New York City's Republican mayor candidate Curtis Sliwa tried to bring one of his many pet cats to his polling place on Tuesday. Sliwa showed up at his Manhattan voting site with the animal cradled in his arms, but election workers told him the cat had to stay outside. Sliwa then got a dispute with poll workers who wanted him to remove a jacket emblazoned with his name out of concern it could violate laws against electioneering at poll places. Sliwa is a founder of the Guardian Angels Anti-Crime Patrol. He lost the race to Democrat Eric Adams. Well, there you have it. Not much, but it's a little bit. Hopefully it gives you a couple laughs, a couple something to think about. God bless you. Have a good night. As a young man always says to me, we'll see you soon.